everyone. I am a spare tire in the capital world. Today is 4 o'clock in the afternoon on July 11th, 2025. Let's record a video of gold today. The gold price during the Asian trading session on Friday, it started at 3,302 and rose to around 3,343. So with us, President Trump announced a new tariff policy. Then the market sentiment is relatively cautious and safe haven funds are flowing back into the US dollar and gold. At the same time, when the US economic data is relatively light, the market is paying attention to this trade situation brought by this latest development. Gold prices rose from a June 16 high of 3,451, falling to the present. Held a phase low of 3,245. So it is now maintaining the oscillation around 3,300, 3,365. The overall structure, it is a wide oscillation maintained at 3,120 to 3,500. So what about the current price of 3,340? It belongs to another, a relay in a pattern in a bull trend. So in the short term, market uncertainty caused by this threat of Trump's new tariffs, pushing up the need for this risk avoidance. Gold received some support from some buying orders. The phased recovery of the dollar may have limited gold again. One room for growth for kin. So yesterday, after the unemployment compensation application came out during the Golden Week, bearish gold. But it did not start to fall until the US stock market opened. That number of police officers dropped to a 7-week low. But the number of renewals is at a high level again. Then we know that this data is negative for the environment. The Federal Reserve has maintained a relatively cautious stance. Expectations for interest rate cuts in September have not changed. But Powell also said it will not cut interest rates in July. So the market is paying attention. The impact of tariffs on inflation on the current trading in the gold market is still relatively light, and one of its implied volatility remains at a low level. What about ETF position? There is a slight fluctuation, but not much. The gold will still be affected by this in the short term. This resistance suppression of 3,365 by 381. Gold in early trading on Friday was also due to the short-term decline of the US dollar. Then the price of gold began to rebound. What about this rebound? In addition to the impact of this tariff news, the market is actually digesting the noise market in recent weeks. Currently, the market is pulled by multiple factors. As for us, focus on one of the high points in the upper frame. It's the one below 3,406. The point is 3,202. During this stage, let's find a support or resistance to this shock. Gold, do short term. Wait for a new direction to emerge. In terms of trading sentiment in the past 2 weeks, there is still a feeling that gold is volatile, and sure, there may be a rebound in demand next week. Well, I actually made it clear on Monday. Gold maintained this downward trend for 3 days at the beginning of the week. On Thursday and Friday, there is some short-term upward momentum. But, unfortunately, gold is still a shock so far. What about the trend of gold prices yesterday? It can be said that in the process of prediction, Japanese yen rise at the long-short boundary, 3,311. So we quickly seized the main area of 3,315, 1,325. Came near 3,332. Of course, there are many orders in this round. We go long at 3,284. It ended in 3,311. Friends who continue to take more orders are all brave people. Though currently gold is still in a turbulent range. Rather than saying it was unilateral, what about after breaking 3,300 this time? The price of gold decisively stabilized and rose above 3,280. So although I think there will still be demand for gold at the end of August, but in the end it still rose. In the process of wide fluctuations, we should pay close attention to the upper edge of gold, 3,406. Then there is also its lower edge, 3,202. This frame. What about today's gold? I think 3,304 is still a key position. Time 3,321. Until 15. It is also a dense support area. Although I gave you this yesterday, this area where you get off at 3,315, 3,310, there is also support. But I did not intervene in this way. What about this position? It's left to brave people to intervene. So if the gold covers 3,304 today, then I think saying 3,300 and 3,000, we can continue to be bullish. What about this wave? Yes, you can get the CPI data next Tuesday. So if we just stay above 3,321, then you should pay attention to this 3,355 main area tonight. Once stabilized, 3,355, then there will definitely be a high point. If gold prices do not stabilize in turn, will continue to fall back, then you should keep an eye on this 3,304 replenishment. What about next Tuesday's CPI data? If it's worse, what about the market? Duping expectations of interest rate cuts, the price of gold will rise. So if his expectations are better, then the gold will sell off. What about next Tuesday's CPI data? It will determine a gold market in the second half of the month.